What's up, good people? Welcome and welcome back to another video. It's your girl Alex and Defined by Alex. And what is up, y'all? Let's sit down and have a really good talk about personal growth. In today's video, I particularly want to talk about how I plan on showing up for myself, okay? Especially with us being in the middle of the year and what has caused me to be in this space. When I mean the space, I mean that main character energy space. I'm talking about that space of if it has nothing to do with me, I have no business in it. So this has taken me a very long time to get here. It's taken me about 10 plus years, to be really honest with you guys, to really understand my value, accept who I am, what I bring to the table, and all that good stuff. A lot has happened, and I really want to talk about what I've done, what I plan on doing when it comes to showing up for myself more. We all know that self-growth is not a linear process, okay? So it is not a straight line when it comes to self-growth, when it comes to understanding your worth, showing up as your authentic self, and all that cute stuff that we know we see and we embrace, especially when it comes to mindset and, you know, personal development. I used to be a huge self-sabotager, okay? And when I tell you it's trifling, it's trifling. I used to always pretty much undersell myself. There were times where I would let other people's reaction or opinion stop me from doing what I needed to do. I had to get there. There were stepping stones for sure for me when it came to self-growth. But when it comes to my upbringing, I grew up skinny. I grew up with acne. I had a gap. It took me a while to really love myself, to really value where I was and where I'm going, and you know, in my life. Like, I really thought my life was going to be different. I know I wanted to be on YouTube, but I really didn't know what type of content I wanted to film. I never really saw myself as being like that girly girl and doing the makeup and what I really thought you had to do to be successful on YouTube, right? So when it comes to self-growth, just remember, it is not linear, okay? It is not going to be a straight line. You're going to have some ups and downs. It's going to look like one of those EKG machines, you know, in the hospital when they're monitoring your heart. It's going to be a very up and down. You might hit a plateau. It's a lot going on when you're on this journey. But what I had to realize is that no one, and I mean no one, is going to stop me from getting to what I want to do in my life. They're not going to stop me from getting my bag. They're not going to stop me from completing my YouTube goals or none of that, okay? It all depended up on me. So I had to take a really good deep dive into my inner self. I had to put in a lot of inner work, you guys. And when you're on this journey, you're going to realize that that inner work is going to hit you very personally. You may cry. You may have moments where you feel lonely and out of it because you're really trying to let go of all the stigmas that people placed on you, all of the false stigmas you placed on yourself, okay? When it comes to self-growth, trust me when I say your girl has been there, and now I feel like I'm finally in this space of where no one's gonna do it the way that I do it, okay? So that's the first thing I wanted to touch on when it comes to how I plan on showing up for myself, and that's just to continue this self-growth journey and being in mind that I'm gonna have some days where I don't feel like doing a damn thing, but it's not always about what I don't feel like doing. It's my discipline and how I plan to make sure that I'm still showing up for myself regardless of how I feel emotionally. So speaking of planning and discipline, I want to tie it to point number 2 of how I plan on showing up for myself more for pretty much the rest of this year. So being in this creator slash influencer space has taught me a lot. It's definitely taught me how to be on top of it when it comes to staying organized and just getting it done no matter what, okay? So you guys know now that I've gone back into the workforce after being in entrepreneurship for a year, all last year. And so now I'm readjusting to having a different type of schedule. My old schedule allowed me to really go with the flow, really fluid, you know, creative schedule. Well, now my new schedule is more structured, and it needs to be, okay? Because y'all gonna get this content. So my new schedule with my 9 to 5, it's up to me to really pinpoint how I plan on creating the content and also planning my content, okay? So I also spend time just making sure throughout the week, whether it's on my lunch break, before I start my shift, or afterwards, I am planning my content. I am doing what I need to do to make sure that these videos go up on time, okay? So another big thing of showing up for myself is I have to plan. We all know, child, if you don't plan, then you fail. And that's not the formula that's tied to my life, okay? I don't want to put out there that I'm just popping up videos all willy-nilly and no one has a structure. I know that there are people who are looking forward to see my content content. So that means I gotta make sure I film this content, and I have to do it on a schedule that's gonna be fluid and consistent, because honey, guess what? I'm never leaving. I love being on YouTube. I love being a creator and an influencer, and I know I have what it takes to really hit those big number goals. But that starts on a granular level. Like, I have to make sure now, as a micro influencer, I'm planning. I'm doing everything I need to do no matter what my schedule is, okay? So showing up for myself more means that I'm planning my life now. I'm being more strategic about how I feel. I'm currently filming this video after I just finished my 8-hour shift, okay? Because I'm on a new content schedule. So I know if I want to film more times out the week, that requires a different type of work ethic. That requires a different type of hustle when it comes to getting these videos out, okay? I may not put on makeup for my 9 to 5, but I'm gonna lay these edges down and I'm gonna put on some makeup and make sure I look presentable on camera for my digital fam. So I am super happy that I'm in this space where I see my value, where I have opened up my eyes, honey, and I recognize what I have to offer to this world and how good I am at what I do. Because there was a time where I was pretty much saving everybody but myself. I was showing up for other people, but I was not showing up for myself. And I believe I talked about this in one of my videos when it came to choosing between YouTube and being an entrepreneur, and how that balance was also kind of hard, because there were some days, even when I had my t-shirt business, I wasn't showing up for my customers, but I was showing up more on YouTube. And so that began to create this wheel of, I'd rather put out the content that I know other people are going to relate to. Not everyone wants to really sell t-shirts or make them, so that left me in this box of just being in that niche. Whereas I talk about content like this, and that can spread among so many people. Topics like self-growth, development, personal manifestation, self-love, it's all applicable to everybody in this world. So that was the type of realization I had when it came to dropping the niche content and picking up on more of the lifestyle content. But I got better at that because I learned how to stop self-sabotaging. Now, this last point I want to talk about is really big for me, you guys. This is something that I've had to really relearn when it came to confidence. Woo! Let's talk about having confidence, okay? Confidence is one of those things where it's not going to be linear. Now, there are some people who I think have so much confidence, and I love that for them. But that also was a reflection on me, because I would look at them and I would start to compare myself in a way of like, I don't have the confidence that she has, so that makes me feel less than. But that wasn't her problem. That was a me problem. So I had to take a real hard look in the mirror, again, do that inner work in that effort to really identify what was it that I felt I did not have when I looked at someone who to me came off very confident. And so I started putting more effort in my looks. Like, to me, when it comes to looks, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So whether you like to wear your natural hair, okay honey, and I'm not talking about blown out, I'm talking about your shrunken natural hair, whether you like to wear your lace fronts and your units, or whether you like to wear braids and protective styles, okay, hair should never define how beautiful you feel, right? So when it came to me, I had to figure out what's my personal style. Yes, I may have a bun today, but I might want to wear my bob wig tomorrow, okay? And that doesn't mean that I'm less beautiful with a bun versus having a bob wig. So I had to identify and take those steps as to what was my personal style, what was most flattering to my body type, what made sense to me when it came to putting colors together and, you know, putting style together. I don't think that we all need to grow up being like a fashionista or being really into fashion to learn how to put things together and make things work for us when it comes to our style. That's something that's learned. Not everybody's going to go to fashion school and, you know, have a focus in this industry when it comes to learning how to style and dress. Now, some people can pick this up like that, you know, within the drop of a hat, and they can do it on the fly, which is great. But there are other people like myself who will scroll on Pinterest for outfit inspo just because I may need to know how to put something together with a skirt that I've never worn. I may need to know how to tie a button-down shirt because I don't know how to tie and I wanted to look cute with these jeans. So it's things like that that I took the energy and the time to put into place to learn what looked right on me. Another part of this conversation I want to tie into when it comes to confidence is the mindset. Woo-hoo-hoo, baby. When it comes to your mind, that has to be the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? So let's tie it back to self-growth. When your mindset is not in a positive state, yeah, that's going to be a problem when it comes comes to you having to do that inner work. So I had to really look at my mindset. I had to really recognize, where was my mindset when I saw, you know, other influencers or other women who seemed like they made it, and how did that make me feel in my mind? Did that make me feel like I was broke? Did that make me feel like I was going to be able to gain a lot of subscribers and grow my digital presence? My mindset really had to go through, honey, class. I had to go to mindset school, okay? I know I just made that up, but that's just how I feel. I just really had to pretty much just do a whole unlearning and relearning process with my mindset. So what I started to do when it came to mindset and being able to focus on what really worked for me is I started putting my phone on focus mode. So if you have an iPhone, you know that in like, I think 2 or 3 updates ago, Apple released a different type of like do not disturb, where you could put your phone on do not disturb, driving, and work mode. The work mode is my best friend, okay? Because that not only silence my notifications, it also allows people to know that I'm working right now. So if you got something to do and if it's not an emergency, it can wait, right? Because I kind of still get distracted pretty easily. I'm not even gonna lie, you guys, that's something I'm working on still. I am a work in progress. I am not a whole piece when it comes to really being where I need to be, but I know I'm better than where I was a whole year ago. But tying it back to being on focus mode, I had to do that, and I do that probably like 5 days out the week. I'm actually doing it right now just because I'm filming and I'm doing what I want to do. I am showing up for me. So people who want to get in touch with me, they can wait till I'm done, or if it's an emergency, honey, they gonna call. But when it comes to my mindset, I had to realize I have to do what I want to do first. Everything else is second. So when it comes to talking to my friends, talking to my family, sitting there watching TV, if I knew that what I had to get done for me wasn't done, then I cannot give the energy to everything else. So that mindset shift is a powerful thing, because like I said, your mindset is the sharpest tool, or it should be the sharpest tool in the shed when it comes to your overall personal development. But you know what it really boils down to when it comes to showing up for myself more? That's honestly being able to go to the beat of my own drum. So that means for me, if I want to wake up and decide that I don't want to film because I know that I've gotten everything done, that I can do that. If I want to go ahead and spend my money at Target buying stuff I know I don't need, I know I'm going to do that because I'm working on my financial literacy and I'm putting my mindset into learning how to invest, how to make my money work for me when I'm sleeping, okay? That's okay. That's something that I'm doing for myself that makes me happy. So other than planning, having the self-growth mentality, doing the inner work, and building up my confidence, the true gem of it all is being able to do what the hell I want to do when it comes to my life, okay? We all know that this life is one that we have, and we have to make the best out of it. And I know that just with the outside world news and everything that could be going on, it can be hard to lift up yourself from your own bootstraps. I get it. Trust me. It took me, like I said, you guys, 10 years to really feel so confidently in myself just as I am, okay? Not doing too much, not over embellishing, not living outside my means. Where you see me right now, honey, is nothing but hard work, prayer, and the Lord himself, period. All right, good people, that is it for today's video on how I plan on showing up for myself, things that I've started doing, and also just the work that I gotta keep doing, okay, to make sure that my goals are getting completed no matter what's going on in my life. There's gonna constantly be things in life that disappoint you, that upset you, that you know that you don't agree with, and that's okay. But it's up to you to figure out where you're going and where you want to be at the end of the year. I don't know about you, but I got to create these goals, and these goals will be met when it comes to me being where I want to be and the blessings I know that I want to receive and be able to pass on to other people. So if you're in a similar process and you may not feel that you have anyone to talk to about it, then go ahead and meet me in the comments. Let's start up a good conversation when it comes to self-work, inner work, development, planning, having discipline, confidence, and all of those things that build up to the umbrella of you becoming a better version of you, okay? So that is all, good people. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video of how I plan on showing up for myself. I appreciate you guys. Subscribe if you are liking the vibes, okay? And as always, don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and always choose yourself first, and I'll be back in my next video. Bye, y'all.